Greetings, friends. Today we're gonna take a look at one small little gem of a game that is quite old, actually. And it's a game that I didn't have the pleasure of playing it when it came out. It's been a while, around the year 2000. But I picked up the first part a few months ago, and as much as I couldn't really understand much of the game at the start, I mean, I was like, oh man, this game is so awful, and how can there still be people playing this game? And after reading everywhere, I found out that it was quite a good game. It's just that you had to get used to it. So I'm gonna show you how to play this game. Like, do the first part, and I'm probably gonna answer a few questions in the comments after. But what I can say is that you should definitely give it some time. All these old games are very cheap to acquire on Steam platform or maybe even others, and it definitely will give you several hours of fun. And what the hell, when a game is fun and it hooks you up, it's definitely worth trying it out. Alright, so the difficulty of the game is actually understanding how to play it, and as soon as you actually know how it's done, it turns out to be a lot easier than what you thought originally. So we're gonna start a new game. In here you have the option to start one of the three characters. The first one is the Shaper, this guy right here. Then we have this, the Guardian, and finally the Agent. To make it simple to understand, first, the Guardian is kind of the warrior, the melee warrior. You're going to hit things with your sword or whatever weapon that you're using, melee weapon. You're not really going to do a lot of magic with him, but your attacks are going to be very strong. Then you have the Shaper, and the Shaper is the actual spellcaster of the game. In this guy will be really weak at close combat, but will be able to do a lot of damage through spells and incantations and things like that. And finally you have the Agent, and the Agent is kind of a mixture of both of them. I will probably say that the Agent is more of a ranged fighter instead of a melee one. However, you're still gonna have use for melee weapons as well as a little bit of magic casting. So I will recommend that the first time that you play, that you go with the warrior. I mean, it's called Guardian in this game, because it's going to be so much easier to start over. The first time I played this game, I played for about a couple of hours, and I find out that a lot of things I did wrong, and I restarted, and I was able to make better choices after I actually knew how to play the game. So I recommend that you go with the Guardian first, and as soon as you finish the game with it, you should definitely try the Spellcaster, or maybe the hybrid a little bit, so you're gonna have fun doing them anyways, alright? The first thing that you need to understand about this game is that Geneforge is actually a game that it's based on a world where humans create life. They create monsters and humanoids and guards and fighting beasts, etc. And they become kinds of pets to you in this game. So you're gonna be or have access to pets in any of the classes, and it can start from really weak ranged casters or range attackers that you conjure and they become your permanent pets, to like have a wide variety of different monsters that you can actually create and then summon. Obviously you start with a really weak little raptor thing that actually spits fire, and he's not really powerful, and it's more of a the term that comes here to my mind is companion. But as you progress in the game, you're gonna find out that the pets become essential to actually winning the game. So let's choose first the appearance. It's very limited in how you can customize your character, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't make a huge difference. I mean, you're looking at a little gem of a game, not a visual, powerful game from this year. So I'm gonna choose that shirt just because I stopped there. And then you have the attributes. As you can see, you have physical attributes like strength, dexterity, intelligence, and endurance, which are pretty self-explanatory. Like strength is more damage as a melee character, and you will be able to carry more stuff. Dexterity gives you a higher and better chance to hit and do some critical hits. Intelligence affects when you're a spellcaster and how much mana you have and spell damage, which in this case is going to be unimportant because I'm not going to play a spellcaster. Then you have endurance, which as many games it means how much you can take before you actually die. All right. So since this guy it's a melee warrior, then strength should be my priority. But you have to consider that you only have 15 skill points right here that are going to be distributed amongst all the stuff that is right here. So let's go with a quick look at about the combat skills. One little thing that I would like to add here first is that you can click on any of these skills, for example quick action, and you will see a small description of what it does right down here. So it will help you to determine what you want or not. But they're, like I was saying, they're pretty simple to actually deduct how they do. Like melee weapons, you know, hand-to-hand combat, missile weapons, ranged weapons. Quick action will determine when you act first. You have to remember that this game combat is turn-based, so the faster you react, it means that you are probably going to get the first attack or the first move. And in many situations that becomes critical to actually win a fight, or even fight something and not even get hurt by doing it. Alright? In anatomy, it's something that you're going to figure out later on, which is the higher the anatomy you have, the weaker the enemies get, because you get like a better understanding of their weaknesses. It sounds like complicated, but trust me, it's not. It just means that you have high anatomy, you're going to be able to kill things faster. So I wouldn't recommend leave it completely untouched. Just at the start, don't worry about it, alright? Consider that the cost for increasing these skills is just 1, so you are going to be able to increase them quite easily, considering that the comparison to strength, which is 5 points versus 1, it becomes a lot easier. Alright? Then the magic skills, the spellcraft, which like I said, I'm not gonna consider while I play a melee character. Then you have the shaping skills, and this is important because this will mean what kind of creatures you can actually create and then summon. The thing I'm going to recommend though is that you focus on one element at first. For example, the very first one that you get is that fire raptor that spits small fireballs. So he's fire. So it should be always good to have at least 1 point in fire shaping, alright? The battle shaping will become a lot more important when you reach like the 4th or 5th area, in which you will be able to summon a tank unit. So a little guy that doesn't do much damage. It's actually this guy right here in the screen. If you can see that guy down here, it looks like a giant ape. Yeah, he's not very intelligent. He just charges and attacks thing. He doesn't do much damage, but he will be able to grab the aggro from the enemies, so you can actually attack maybe from far away or actually without getting hurt. Alright. Then you have leadership, mechanics, and luck. Leadership, as it says here, it allows for better outcomes in conversations, which are quite important in this game. You can solve things or even avoid fights or gain stuff by just talking to people. So it's always good to constantly increase it. Same as mechanics. This game has places where doors needs to be picked, some levers that need to be manipulated, etc. And the higher your mechanics, the higher the chance that you're going to be able to do that. And let me tell you that many treasures are locked behind mechanical things, so it is always good to have a good amount of mechanics. Even more important than leadership, alright? And luck finally affects everything you do, so what I do is every time I level up, I always put at least 1 point in luck. It will never hurt, okay? So I'm gonna distribute the points quickly, and I'm gonna put a few melee weapons. Gonna add one more to strength, and I'm gonna add one to mechanics, one to leadership, and two to luck. Okay. So we start the game, and they tell you a little bit of the story about how the Shapers were a race that created these little monsters and stuff, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You can just check it out later. It's actually a very well written story. You're gonna have a good time by just reading what they say. All right. So this is the first screen of the game. What you need to understand first is that with the Alt key, oh, give me a second. So as you can see, the game is pretty simple in the easiest part. You just click where you want your guy to move, and you can interact with different things, like for example this little jar right here. You can click on it, and it will show you what it has inside. For example, trash. If you want to pick the trash, you just click and it will add here to your inventory, which is probably the hardest part of the game, or the weakest one, especially when you don't know how to equip things, for example. But how I'm going to show you it is, you're gonna find out that it's actually quite easy. Let's check these jars real quick, see if there's something good. Probably not, just trash. That is actually pretty worthless. Just scroll the screen with the mouse. And one more thing that you should know is that sometimes the game like lags a little bit, and you have to consider that it doesn't use any acceleration from the video cards at all, so it's not really a big hassle. It's just that sometimes it lags, like when you're moving in big areas and like have a lot of enemies, you're gonna experience a little bit of pausing. It doesn't make the game unplayable or anything, but just it should be good to notice it. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, this is a stick, and that stick is gonna be it's gonna be good as a weapon. So we click here in this icon with a little hand, and you're going to see everything that is on the floor. You're not gonna interact with the things on the floor. You're just going to try to see what it is. And as you can see, there's a stick and there's a rock. I'm gonna pick the stick. You're gonna be asking why. Because you can equip the stick, and actually you can actually hit shit with that stick, which is better than hitting with your bare hands. I know it's a weak weapon, but for starting it's alright. Here with the tab key you can highlight the little things or the little button information. For example, this one, start combat, is what you do to start combat. You might be asking, why do I have to start combat if it's kind of obvious that as soon as I see an enemy is going to start combat? Simply because sometimes you can get the advantage by looking at an enemy that haven't noticed you first. so it will give you like a free shot before. It's really good. Alright, these instructions will give you kind of the same hints that I am giving you. It's actually a little bit dull, but it's good to take a look at it a little bit. You're gonna use this button as change formation when you actually get followers or pets or other guys that will join you. As you can see here, your party can become actually up to eight NPCs, including you. I mean, 7 NPCs and you. Then you save and load in here. There's a journal where you get the information about your quests and stuff. And this is what you use to create creatures. I'm not sure if you actually can create right now something, but let's try it. No, you haven't learned how to create creatures yet. So let's move forward a little bit. More stupid rocks. Oh, this is a healing pod. That thing is actually gonna become good to heal wounds, especially when you actually get damage. As you can see, there's a map down here, which is pretty rough, but it will tell you exactly what have you not discovered yet. Like for example here, I'm gonna try to see if there's something on the floor. Oh yeah, there's thorns. Those thorns, as you can see the indication, it says damage 1 to 4. You may be asking, what can I do with thorns? Well, you can actually craft a few things in this game later on. And also, there's a device that uses these thorns, and you can use it as a projectile weapon. So it's always good to save these thorns. Maybe you're not going to be using ranged attacks, but they are still going to sell for some money later, because this game doesn't have a lot of money, especially in the beginning. Okay, as you can see, this door is closed, but it's kind of obvious that this lever is the one that opens it. However, some of these levers are going to be impossible to be opened without the mechanic skill, as I was saying before. There's a chest as well, and there's something on top of that table. And as you can see, you can't interact with it. However, if we get close to it, and we click on the little hand icon, you're going to see that actually there's a dagger. We pick the dagger, check the stats, 2 to 14. I'm pretty sure it's gonna do a lot more damage than the stick, which is only 1 to 6. So, we're gonna... Oh, and I'm gonna actually show you how to equip items, because the first time I played this game, I was naked for, like, the first hour of game, and it was so friggin' hard, especially because I didn't even had an armor or anything. Right now I know how to do it, and it's, you just left click on the item. As you can see, you can highlight it, you can drop them as well, and you can just give it to your guy. And that way, you can equip items. Now with that sword, or dagger, we're actually going to be able to kill faster. Let's check that chest. Okay, we got our first piece of armor and a shield. They're both useful. We're going to use the same way to equip them. Alright, now we are better for this. Alright. To actually open this lever, it says it will take 1 living tool to open it. The living tools are the things that you actually use to do things with mechanical things, okay? Now, as you can see, the door is still locked, so we cannot really open it. We need to find that living tool. Let's go on the other direction. We're probably gonna find one in the other room or something. As you can see, there are items that they're probably gonna be highlighted when I hit this hand icon. Like that basket that is actually worthless. Another tunic, it's gonna be worth selling them. You should always be looking at the floor when you actually see something on the ground. 3 chests. That is some bones, worthless. javelins. That's good. You can actually throw them at some enemies. It's decent. And they are also worth money later, so spoon in a bowl, they're both worthless. Let's keep checking. More junk. Okay. We have something here on the table. Oh, a cloak. Yeah, that cloak is gonna be good to actually equip it. It gives us one more extra armor, not bad. There's a chest there. And we just found the brass key. Okay. As you can see on the map, there's not really a lot more to do. So that brass key is probably going to either open the door or maybe allow us to use that lever that we couldn't do before. So let's get over there and try it. Okay. You see, the key unlocked the chain that had that lever and allowed us to actually pass. So we can see some barracks from some guardians or agents. Alright. Let's explore this real quick. I don't know if the wall can be picked up. No, no items nearby. Another tunic. More javelins and another dagger. All these things are gonna be good for, you know, getting some money. Like I said, money is not a lot in this game, so everything that actually can be sold should be carried and sold. Like, for example, those trash piles and bowls and stuff like that, they don't sell, so that's why I left them. Continue exploring a little bit. Oh good, another healing pod. I think I'm gonna explore this side first. Okay, that's the entrance to the temple, so let's go the other way first. I'm not gonna spoil on the story or anything. You see, these are actually wild animals. They don't really do anything to you unless you attack them, and you can get food from them. It's kind of dangerous to attack them at the start, but I'll show you combat with them in just a few more minutes. Gemstone. They're used for crafting, and they are also sold for some nice money. Okay, this is the other entrance of the temple. Let's just keep looking at here and check this. Maybe there's something on the ground that's worth. No. Okay, there's a lever there. Let's try to pull it in. Okay, that opens something. Probably the room next, right here, which has a couple of jars. Nothing. Oh, okay. 2 healing pots. That's not bad. As you see, the puzzles are really easy to actually do and understand, so it becomes a lot easier later on to actually see and not miss stuff. This game has a lot of secrets, and many times you get to areas where you think that you know where to go, and you can just look for a button or lever or something, and you're gonna be able to actually go on. Let's check on this one. There's a belt and there's a robe. Okay, I'm pretty sure the belt is useful. The robe, I'm not so sure compared to the tunic. The tunic gives us 1 armor, and the robe actually 3, yeah. The tunic is better than that cape. It's an old game, so you don't really see much of a difference in your character in-game. So, like I said, you're not really looking at a high quality of graphics here. It's more like how fun this game is. It is really fun. And considering that it has 5 parts, like there's Geneforge 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, it tells you that if you actually like this game, you're probably gonna enjoy all of them. I played 1 and 2, and I haven't had the time to play the other ones, but as soon as I get the time, I will, definitely. I had a lot of fun playing this game. Okay, it says that to open this door I need to unlock that lever that has a chain. So, let's check this trunk right here. Some thorns. I still haven't found any leading tools, so... Oh, actually, I think the same key I had worked there. So, oh, what is that? Ah, ice crystals. Yeah, they become good at crafting later on, and also sell for money. Trash in a chest. Yay. Well, I think we have explored the whole scenario, this small scenario, so we're actually gonna kill one of these little bitches here, just to show you combat. You click there, and now you go into turn mode. So, you can use the hand here to set melee weapons. You can also use magic if you were a spellcaster, or ranged if you had a ranged weapon. So since we don't have anything, we're just gonna hit the guy. He's right next to us, so we don't have to move. However, you have 8 points that you can actually use to move or attack. So let's attack him. You have to click here in the little sword icon, or maybe right click works. Oh man, I just splattered that little guy. Okay, let's see. He should drop meat. Correct, meat. That meat is gonna be good. You don't really have to... It's not really that important to eat in this game, more than to just like get health or your essence, which is what you're gonna use to create creatures. But you can also sell the meat, so it's actually good. Oh, we're still in combat, so... Let's see how you end the turn. I do not remember. Well, let's just go out of combat. And let's butcher this one right here. Oh man, I feel bad. Not really. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to having to click on the attack button, but you get used in time. Oh my god. Oh, that guy got angry. Yeah, I got angry because I killed his friends and he just came to be butchered. Alright, let's pick up this stuff. More meat. And let's head to the next area. You click here again to get out of combat, and you can move freely one more time. When you walk into these great areas, it's when you actually see or be able to travel. As you can see, this is a pretty big map. Like, so many things and places you can go. We were here, right here, and now we're moving towards here, which is the second area. Here the button travel, and you're going to move. You're still gonna get a few hints about the game every time that you travel somewhere. And as you can see, this is a whole new area that we can explore. In here, you're gonna find the temple, which I think it was right here, where you're actually gonna be able to learn how to craft or summon your first creature. These little things here, these containers, will give you powers. Like in this case, it gave me the ability to create a Fiora. The Fiora is that raptor that spits fire I was telling you. These pillars also sometimes contain information and sometimes spells. Alright. Now though, oh, and these pools right here, this one right here, will allow you to regenerate your energy and your essence. And the one up here, it will regen your health. So, every time that you fight and you get weakened, or like you lost your essence because you lost your creature, because your creatures actually die, or get consumed by you, because you can consume them to get the essence to create a more powerful one, or actually create a different creature that is going to work better against a specific enemy. You can come here to these pools and you can regen. You don't really have to come to this area every time. There are others scattered around on the map. But I'm going to show you, just to end this video of the basics of this game, how to create your Fiora. In another videos I'm going to show you more advanced ways to play, and I'm probably going to make a few tutorials about some hard puzzles that are not really hard, but to help some people that are sometimes, well, it happens to us all. Sometimes you are just stuck in something and you just need help. So you click here in the create creature, and as you can see, the only one I can create is this one, Fiora. It's like a little raptor. It's look a little gay, but or a little, like a little girly, or maybe it's actually a girl, I don't know. In here you're going to be able to actually increase the cost of your creature to make it more powerful. Okay, as we can see right now I have 9 essence. That's the maximum essence I can carry with my level, and creating this guy cost me 8, so that leaves me 1 extra to put like on intelligence. Since he's a caster, because he shoots fireballs, an extra intelligence is not gonna be bad. Let's create him. There he is. There's the little guy. As you can see, you move and he just stands there like a retard. So you can just click on him and move him, just like you move your character. Now you can also drag a box and select both of your guys, and maybe even more. I've had an army of these guys later on in the game, and you can just move. As you can see, he will follow you, and if you actually fight somebody, he will actually start fighting as well. However, you can actually give him orders separately, and he will sometimes you can just sacrifice him, like to make a pool and get the attention of other guys so they attack him since he's expendable and you're not. I know it's a little cruel, but it will actually allow you to pass some of the obstacles sometimes. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed playing Geneforge. I know it's not like the best game ever, and many people are gonna think that it's a POS, and I understand that. But the die-hard fans of RPG games and stuff are probably going to enjoy it a lot. I will recommend that you actually give it a try. It's an old game, and it's probably under $1 on Steam platform. However, since I played this one and the second one, I can tell you I spent a lot of good times playing this game. Alright guys, remember that I will post another chapter later on. Don't forget to check on my other videos where I keep playing these really good old school games, and subscribe to my channel if you want to keep updating and knowing when I put new stuff. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next time. Bye.